Hi there, it's Lise Zadravec. You can always find out more about my art at lisarts.com, lisarts.com. Yesterday I was talking about papers I like, and me tints. Canson me tints is my favorite. It's always takes a lot of layers, and I was talking about some other options. This being on paper, it has to be displayed under glass, and I was exploring some options to show color pencil in a way like paintings where it doesn't have to be under glass or under glazing. So that's why I was choosing something other than me tints, and I have all of these pictures sketched up and ready to go on my me tints paper. But we had started out with some that were too smooth and some that were too rough. But I also wanted to tell you that Scratchboard, excuse me, that's upside down, whereas you can colorize it afterwards, it will just take a little bit. You may want to ink it. Color pencil will work, but it doesn't take a lot of layers. Nor does the wood. This is one I did without any varnish on it. This background, by the way, where it looks so blended, I just used Vaseline to blend it. Sometimes I use alcohol if I need to get a blended sort of underpainting or background like that. Then this one, I have varnished it. And again, it does, I put many layers on as I usually work, but it does not take too many layers. Not many layers are going to remain on there. The Encaustic board was a little more difficult to work with because of the fact that it has a wonderful surface, by the way, and blends and all sorts of things that you want a colored pencil surface to do. But it did not take a lot of layers without some kind of underpainting. I don't know if you can see on this and bring it closer to the camera, but it sort of gets those little white spots coming through. Some people don't mind that. They think it looks like a pastel paper. Being originally an oil painter, I want my work to look like a painting. So that is always my goal. And then the last one was the Pastel board, which has a wonderful texture. I should pick a color in my hand that's in the picture. For taking the pencil, you may feel that it's really almost sanding the pencil down. But if you have a good pencil, like the Faber-Castell or Luminance pencils, they will not wear down so quickly. Your Prismacolors might. So this is a good one to use with your harder pencils, not your softer Prismacolors. And so the last thing I wanted to talk about, because we are going to work on a project soon here, is working on black paper. Now this is just some crescent board, and I wanted to talk about some of the different whites you have. The one in my hand is a Caran d'Ache Pablo, which is pretty waxy and pretty white. Prismacolor tends to be very, very white. By the way, see these little crumbs that come up? If I brush them with my hand on a darker colored paper, they will remain there. It's a good idea to use a Swiffer or even a paper towel to remove them as they come up. This very, very white down here is Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle. Only I'm using it dry, I'm not using it wet. To bring back highlights, it is pretty much the only pencil that will get such a bright white over dark, whether it's a dark surface or whether you're putting the white over some other pencils. Now, the next thing I had done here was I'd done kind of a value scale, because we have the black of the paper, we have the white of the pencil, and then we have all the medium shades in between. So I have a medium sort of light white or gray. And then I can go even lighter pressure. In colored pencil, it's always all about the pressure. And then I can go more pressure and more white, but so I get a range of whites. And what you will find as you're working is that you can use this as you're making shadows. So for instance, if I just put yellow down, and sorry, I need to sharpen this yellow. Even if I put it down very strongly, the black of the paper comes through and it has sort of a greenish tint because black has a white base, as a blue base, sorry. I had a white pencil in my hand and I'm thinking that. But if I put white down first and negate the black paper and then put my yellow down, do you see how much even brighter it is? So in that way, if I had a colored object that I was trying to shadow, I could do just the shadow over the black. If I needed it to be brighter, I have harder pressure. And if I needed it to be highlighted or very bright, I can add white underneath. So what I was drawing on the other side is this moth, another moth. And he's sort of grayish, and he's flying up to this flower. And there's an eye in here that I will get later. But as I was drawing the flowers, there are parts of the flowers that are dark. So not only am I going to use a darker pencil, but I have the black showing through. Then I have the parts of the flower that are lighter. And then I have the parts of the flower, they're kind of curled, almost like a coil of ribbon, where they're highlighted. And I can come in with the white, whether I leave the white on there just showing through as a highlight or whether I use the white with the purple on top to give my petals a little curve to them. And then we're going to work on our project next. So that's the information I have for now. And the next video will be our project.